Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg.
It's Friday, the 19th of November, and as you are all probably aware, Meghan Markle has gone on Ellen. Yes, that's right. The two people that have been recently held as bullies have sat down for a good old chat and chinwag, just all in the name of privacy, hey Meghan? So she took part in her first TV interview since her now infamous chat with Oprah. Some say that this should have been the only chat she had rather than the one with Oprah, but hey, you know, that's what opinions are for. What got me is that Ellen welcomed her on stage saying, "Welcome to my friend Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex." Titles yet again, which infuriate quite a lot of Brits, and I know that it infuriates quite a lot of other people too. So she had a sit down on a chinwag with Ellen to discuss everything from her family to her political campaigns. She also took part in the most bizarre prank that we've ever seen anybody from the royal family ever do, and hopefully we'll never see again. It involved her doing embarrassing actions in public, although it's not quite in public, and I'll get onto this in a little bit. At Ellen's command, basically, she had a mic piece in her ear where Ellen told her lots of things to do, and it really was quite cringeworthy. Ellen had instructed her via an earpiece how to interact with the public and the market traders selling quartz crystals and hot sauces. Now let's be honest, they weren't market traders, this was all set up. Now, this was all staged, of course it was. It was all in the parking lot at the studios. And rumour has it that they weren't market traders, they were staff from the Ellen show. But of course, that's just a rumour. So everybody would have been briefed. It was quite safe. It wasn't in public. And I don't know why people are going on about, oh, she was in public. She was at the local market. No, she wasn't. The market stalls were in the car park. She then proceeded to tell Meghan to say, "Mummy wants some heat," when she was talking about hot sauces. And then she had to squat, touch her nose, make cat noises, eat tortillas like a little chipmunk. It was embarrassing, it really was. But let's be honest, it seemed so forced if you had the privilege of watching it. She seemed like she was trying to desperately handcraft an image of this wholesome, happy person with a happy, bubbling family, and that she is literally thriving on the back of this bombshell of the evidence that she lied to the court and then tried to bamboozle the fact that she and Harry did in fact help the authors of Finding Freedom. Obviously, this particular bit of controversy was avoided and wasn't talked about. All very light-hearted and fun and bubbly when she sat there wearing a white Oscar de la Renta blouse coming in at a staggering $1,775. To be fair, I quite like the blouse, where she chatted to Ellen about her 5-month-old daughter Lily teething. Ellen suggested tequila, and then Meghan said, "Ooh, yes, that's from Auntie Ellen," and her struggling days as an actress, where she then regurgitated the story about the car and not being able to open the doors and her having to crawl through the boot, or you call it a trunk. It's the same manufactured tat over and over again that we've heard. It's rehearsed over and over. There's nothing new. And again, she did the same thing when speaking about a Halloween party that her, Harry, Eugenie and Jack went to before the big bombshell news that they were dating came out, that they all got dressed up in Halloween costumes and had one last big go on the town before the news broke. We've heard it all before. But of course, she's not had the opportunity to sit down in her throne on the Ellen show and tell these stories, has she? And here's her chance, and she's lapping it up. Of course, she plugged her children's book The Bench, and we got the, "Oh, Archie loves it and he likes seeing himself in there, and when he sees the dog he goes, oh, the dogs." And of course she had to bring the dogs up, didn't she? Because she has this tall tale that she keeps on about how she is connected to Ellen, and Ellen was there at the rescue centre when she was visiting with her friends, and she was the one that said to Meghan, oh, you need to get that dog. And of course, Meghan went, oh, yeah, of course I'll do it. And that's how she got one of her dogs. She had to crowbar that in. She's painting the fact that her and Ellen are best buds. And that came across extremely clearly. Even more so when they spoke about Halloween. Because apparently Harry and Meghan and Ellen and Portia all spent Halloween together with the children. And Archie would not dress up. And Lily was a skunk. Yep, she was a skunk from Bambi. This child can't even talk yet she's deciding to be a skunk. No, Meghan, you chose her to be a skunk because you thought it would be cutesy. We also got to hear about her selling scrunchies at school, making the Thanksgiving dinner herself. I don't believe that one bit. She also tried to pull on the heartstrings and said that it was revealed that she was compared to Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons at aged 11. Why are we only hearing about this now? Because if that was the case, we'd have heard about it already. It seemed like it was a manufactured effort. It was a PR push, and it's all part of the glittering PR surrounding her of her image. It's called image crafting, and it is basically trying to put her in a better public life with America because she's had some damaging stuff. 2 issues we've had with her recently that have really knocked her reputation, and Harry's of course by proxy. We've had the ringing of the senators about lobbying. Now don't get me wrong, paid parental leave is an important issue, but a lot of senators and politicians did not like her ringing them up and lobbying for this paid parental leave. They thought it was a slap in the face because she was using her royal titles, and a lot of them said drop your titles or don't do it. It's simple. So that's rubbed a lot of people's backs up. Hang on, did I say that right? Rubs people's backs up. No, I've got my sayings mixed up, haven't I? It's either rub you up the wrong way or get someone's back up. Well, you get my point anyway. And then we have this bombshell of the court case where in fact she lied, saying that she didn't have anything to do with finding freedom. And then it transpires, well, she did actually. And then she had to apologise to the court. And also the fact that this letter was written, known that it was going to be leaked. And she wrote it with the intention of the public reading it and to pull at the heartstrings. That hasn't gone down too well either. It's knocked her popularity in the United States. Well, whatever she has left, it was image crafting. It was damage control after the pushback of those 2 disastrous scenarios that she quite rightfully put herself in, and she deserved the pushback, to be honest. You know, her and Harry's popularity has completely tanked in the UK. There are still some diehard fans and that have sort of said, well, the media does give her a bad time, but the majority of Brits don't want them to return, don't want them here, they're ashamed of them. And in a stunning turn, GB News have basically said that over half the population want their titles to be stripped of those that asked. And it's quite right. If they continue down this road, then a lot more people will join this. But she needed this Ellen show to show the fun, carefree side, to appeal to her target audience, which is America. Unfortunately, she chose Ellen, and Ellen is not well liked and hasn't been well liked for about a year now. In fact, this is her last season. This is a show that is bleeding viewers. It really, really is. I mean, the viewership for the Ellen show dropped substantially in 2020 to 2021 compared to the previous one. It dropped from 2.6 million viewers to 1.5 million viewers. That's a hefty drop, and it's all down to these bullying claims that happened last year. She is now known as the nastiest person in Hollywood. And apparently this has been a well-known secret, or not so secret, in the industry. And the chickens have come home to roost. And look who sat with her on the couch. Of course, the other bully, because we have the claims from Kensington Palace and the current investigation that has accused Meghan Markle of bullying her staff. Now, don't get me wrong, some of the interview I actually found compelling, you know, when she was talking about, or talking to the woman about the hair and the braids in the school. That I think she does do that well. She is very good at empowering other women. And I will, you know, I often play devil's advocate, and I will say that That's a role that she's very good at. She's good at leading, but that's her ego talking. What's happened on this show is that she's let Ellen degrade her for popularity. And that's not really a good combination, is it? She's still using those Duchess titles. She's allowed to use the Duchess titles, just not the HRH. But she's Duchess in name only, and she's expected to be dignified. Is this upholding the Queen's values as they promised? Squatting on national TV? And a lot of people, when this was announced the day before, said, oh my god, I bet we're going to see a picture of Lily. No, we got to see another picture of Archie's back of his head. Yep, this one not in black and white, but in colour. Is there any point in showing this photo at all? He's with the chickens again. There's something weird going on with his hands. To be perfectly honest, that could be any child. It has no discerning factor of who it is, apart from chickens. And it really could be any child. It's my personal opinion that she went on this Ellen show as a PR crisis exercise to make sure America knows just how down to earth she is. That she's an ordinary mum, that she's an everyday mum. Despite her massive wealth, she's still down with it. It felt forced, it felt unnatural, and quite frankly, it felt cringy. I honestly think her and Fergie should set up a YouTube channel together. That's my take on it. But she was in her element, I'll give her that. And isn't it funny that this came out rather quickly? You know, there wasn't a build-up, which I found really, really bizarre. It was literally, she's coming on Ellen tomorrow and it's done. Normally there is a build-up. Like, we're doing this, Meghan's doing this, they're doing this, Harry and Meghan are doing this. No, it's literally the day before it aired that this is what's happening. So I suspect that this was a last-minute thing. And isn't it funny that we've got Prince Charles and Camilla on their royal tour right now, and last night we had the variety performance that Kate and William went to, all glitz and glam, and then up pops Meghan with an Ellen interview. You know I don't believe in coincidences, don't you? You know, this was a show dedicated to her, and she would have been in her absolute element. But she shouldn't have used the Duchess title. She used rehashed stories over and over and over again. We've heard them all before. And then we had this back of the head photo of Archie. There is nothing new of substance whatsoever that she said. What she's done is just rehashed old stories that she hasn't been able to tell for the past few years because she was in the oh so hateful royal family, as she calls it. Well, she's now able to speak, and she's done it, and she's been an absolute element. All I can say is that it's rehashed stories and playing best buds with her buddy, or some would say bully, Ellen. So I would love to know your thoughts on this. Do you think it was a disaster from start to finish? Did you watch it? Did you want to vomit? Do you think that she has every right to go on Ellen now that she's no longer a working royal? I mean, fair play. One thing she didn't mention was the royals themselves, apart from Eugenie and Jack, very, very briefly. There wasn't any mudslinging. And for that I say, oh, thank God. But it's this crafted image that she's going on to be the likeable, lovable Duchess of Sussex. Will it work? Is she trying to recraft her image after a few disastrous PR scenarios that have gone completely wrong and against her? Is she now trying to craft herself? Also, do you think she might get her own talk show herself? Is that what she's after? Also, what do you think about the photo of Archie and why none of Lily? I mean, why show Archie and not Lily? That to me is really, really bizarre. If you're going to show one child, show them both, even if it is just the back of their heads. It's really, really cringy to me. It really, really is. And lastly, but not leastly, what do you think of the earpiece prank scenario segment? Oh, cringe fest. It really is a hands-in-head moment, kind of, oh my God, what is she doing? Oh my God, what is she doing? But will people lap it up? Will people love this carefree, bubbly side she's trying to push? As always, I'd love to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.